You are watching KSL Sports Live.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. Interviews with new BYU defensive lineman Keanu Tanuvasa and Utah Hockey Club leading goal scorer Dylan Gunther are on the way.
Yeah, and the Utah State Aggies, they just refuse to lose. The latest accomplishment by this team, a top 25 team, and the Jazz in overtime thriller at Delta Center. As the Utah Jazz continue to hobble through this rebuilding season, we continue to get a sneak peek into what the future may have in store for this team. Last night, it was rookie Cody Williams showing off some of his potential with a career-high 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting from the field, 2 for 4 from three-point range. Tonight, the Jazz right back on the floor. Larry Markkinen, Walker Kessler, Keontae George, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Johnny Juzang, all out tonight against the Nets. Ben Simmons in for the Nets. His career-high 42 points in a game against the Jazz back in February 21. But the Jazz team didn't have Micah Potter back then. He denies Simmons at the rim tonight. That block led to the fast break where Isaiah Collier would finish with the scoop and score. Later in the quarter, Bryce Sensabaugh drills the three-pointer. He had 7 in the quarter. The Jazz were down by 1 after 1 quarter. The youth movement continues in that second quarter. How about this dime by Collier to Oscar Tshiebwe for the dunk? Jazz down by 4 after that. Collier, he hasn't been a great three-point shooter in the NBA yet, but tonight he was getting into the rhythm. Down 38-33 after that triple. Svi Mikhailiuk, he's not afraid to shoot. Misses the first attempt, but he's going to get the ball right back. And, of course, he'll pull the trigger again. This time he sinks it. No Walker Kessler. Filipowski made just 2 shots in the first half. Both were three-pointers to give the Jazz the lead. They had the 49-48 lead at halftime. Isaiah Collier continues his nice night in the second half. He's going to connect on his second 3 of the game to give the Jazz a 59-58 lead. Al Filipowski also still hitting deep shots. Straightaway 3 and the foul. 4-point play ties the game up at 60. More Collier. How about another three-pointer? He had 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists through 3 quarters of play, and the Jazz lead 85-78. 1 quarter to go. Will the Jazz find their 10th win? Isaiah Collier wants it.
Collier races to the rack. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the block, the dunk, and the foul. He would actually have to leave the game to be evaluated for a concussion after that hard fall. But he did return, and with under 3 minutes to go, it's Collier back on the floor, driving in for 2. A career-high 21 points for Collier at this point. But with the game tied at 102, a big-time rookie mistake. He gets called for the 8-second violation. Colin Sexton wanted the ball. He didn't like it. You see the two arguing at the bench. The game ends up going to overtime. In overtime, Jazz down by 1 with 6 seconds. The Nets' final chance at a win was fruitless here. The Jazz 9-game home court losing streak comes to an end. They get win number 10 this season. Collier with a career-high 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Colin Sexton had 21. It's his 5th straight game of 20 points or more. It's just their 3rd win at home this season.
The game winner, trying to beat him with the speed. Knew they was probably going to go with Bryce. Kept it. That's how we drew it up. Threw it out. It was either I was going to get it or nobody was going to get it. So threw it out, chased it, laid the ball up.
There you go. The Orlando Magic would miss their young all-star Paulo Banchero. He missed 35 games this year, but he's healthy now. And that's a problem for Paul George. Banchero just destroys him on this play. The Magic would beat George and the Sixers 104-99. Paul George on skates.
In women's college basketball, the SMU Mustangs visiting the Pitt Panthers. Why are we showing you this? Well, it was because it was a historic outcome. Pitt was down by 32 points at halftime, but they found a spark in the second half. They held SMU to 0 points in the third quarter. Michaela Johnson led the offense with 22 points. Pitt pulls off the largest comeback in NCAA women's basketball history, getting the win 72-59.
Wow, we have to take a quick break. More NBA on the way.
And we're going to catch up with the newest BYU Cougar.
This has been the hardest thing I've done in my entire life.
Keanu Tanuvasa explains his difficult decision to trade Utah Red for BYU Blue.
To Martinez, straightaway 3. No good. No, wait, yes! He hit it.
Wait. Utah State keeps delivering wins after wins. Even if last-second magic is needed. More on the Aggies' red-hot start and their win over Boise State coming up.
Oh, that was fun. And after a wild finish between the Jazz and Hawks, We look back on some of the wildest finishes in Utah Jazz history, and one-on-one with Utah Hockey Club star Dylan Gunther on the way, too. Stick around. We got all that and much more coming up after the break.
In the meantime, consider downloading the KSL Sports app if you haven't already. In the palm of your hand, you've got all the local sports content you could ever ask for.
Watching KSL Sports Live.
The New York Knicks, they've lost 4 of 5, looking to get a win against the Bucks on Sunday. Jalen Brunson played a big role in that effort. Hits the 3, then he drives, banks it in.
Celtics versus Zion Williamson and the Pelicans. So Zion did miss the flight. Third quarter, Pelicans get the block. They're on the move. Trey Murphy, woo, coast to coast. The dunk and one. Fourth quarter would be back and forth. Pelicans, DeJounte Murray pulls up and hits the 3 to tie things at 110. Then Tatum, working his way down to the basket, hits points, 11 boards. Boston hangs on to win 120 to 119.
Anytime we play Trae Young, I assume there's going to be 4 plays tonight where the players look over at the bench after they score, and my reaction is honestly going to be like, hey, he's awesome.
Knocked away. Sexton kept it alive. Still time. 5 down to 4. Got it! A busted play! Hawks don't have a timeout. Trae from midcourt to win it.
Wow. If you're old like me, you remember ABC's Wide World of Sports every Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Well, the Utah Jazz felt both emotions in 2 seconds on Tuesday, thanks to Trae Young.
Yeah, but you know, there's still plenty of times that the Jazz have stolen victory from the jaws of defeat. And we thought it would be kind of fun to pull some of our favorites out. Some wild endings, young and old, in Jazz history. Now, I think a lot of Jazz fans will remember this classic from just a few years ago, 2020. Jazz in Houston, P.J. Tucker with the 3 with 1 second left to put the Rockets up 1, but he left too much time on the clock for Boyan.
Here we go. Who's going to take this shot to try to tie or win? Outside to Bogey. He's crowded. 3.
That was Boyan's second buzzer beater for that season to get that win over Houston.
10 years ago, Jazz at the Garden. Carmelo Anthony going to bank in the 3 to tie the game with 3 seconds left. Cue up Trey Burke for the win.
Back pick for Hayward. He can't get it. Inbound to Trey. He steps back in the corner. Got it!
Oh, baby.
Trey
Oh, baby.
3-ball left side. Jazz win it.
Let's go way back to 1988. Jazz in Portland. Clyde the Glide Drexler ties the game with the transition dunk with 13 seconds left. And with time winding down, it's Kelly Tripucka.
Good. He got it. It's over. Win it. You got 11. Third three-pointer of the game. Boy, are they a happy bunch. And Mike will have the
uniform.
He didn't do much in a Jazz uniform. Daryl Griffith did a lot, though. Hit 2 3-pointers in the final 7 seconds to beat the Dallas Mavericks in a game on November 11th, 1986. 39 years ago, the final 3 beat the buzzer. What a scene that was at the old Salt Palace.
Also in 1986, Jazz in Washington, Moses Malone tying the game at the free throw line, leaving 3 seconds on the clock for the Golden Griff.
bounces out to the Griff. Darryl puts up a three-pointer. It's good. It's good. It's unbelievable. The Jazz have done it again.
My favorite player as a kid. 2 game winners, less than a month apart.
Carlino, a bounce to Haas. Haas posting up short corner right to the middle. Fades away. Got it! The 2-point.
Gotta watch the 3.
Into Dellavedova. Dellavedova, long 3. Got it! He got it, and the Gales win it.
Yeah, you know, BYU fans, they've felt the agony of victory being snatched away at the last second. Maybe the worst was this one in 2013 when Matthew Dellavedova ripped Cougar fans' hearts out at the Horn down in Provo.
Akano is open. Instead, they give it to Martinez. Straightaway 3. No good. No, wait. Yes! He hit it, and he's fouled. Oh, another rib forever. Whoa! Ian Martinez hits the 3. It bounced 6 times on the rim before finally falling through. Unfreaking believable.
Unbelievable indeed. 16 wins, best in the country, 94% win percentage. That is also best in the country. Things going pretty well in Aggie land these days, but that 16th win for Utah State, as you saw, it only came with a little bit of late game magic last night up at the Spectrum against Boise State. That game-winning three-pointer by Ian Martinez was the 5th three-pointer of the game for him. He led the Aggies with 18 points, which is the 20th straight game dating back to last season that Martinez has scored in double figures in a game. Utah State's 6-0 start in conference play marks the 10th time in school history they've started that well in conference, and the 2nd time since they've been in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, it felt like forever. I was just there on the ground, just watching it, hoping it went in. It bounced about 5 times on the rim. It was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it. All I've ever dreamed of, like, just thinking about, like, my career and just going from place to place is, like, the opposite of what I ever wanted. I always wanted to stay, like, at one place and just kind of build myself up there and, for the fans to like me, be able to, win at a program. So it's just like, couldn't even dream of something bigger than this.
There is some competition at the top of the Mountain West standings, though. New Mexico also a perfect 6-0 in conference play so far. Then Colorado State at 4-1, followed by Boise State at 4-2. Next up for the Aggies, they'll be in Las Vegas on Wednesday night for a contest with UNLV.
50-42, BYU by 8 into Jimmer with 4 and with 3 and with 2. Jimmer from 40 feet. Got it! He got it! Oh!
What a night. I was there 14 years ago yesterday that we witnessed one of the greatest performances on a basketball court in state history. Jimmer Fredette dropped 47 on the Utes at the Huntsman Center. That included 33 points in the first half, capped off by that deep buzzer beater. He was 16 of 28 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, a perfect 9 for 9 from the foul line. He also had 6 assists and 2 steals in a game that officially set off Jimmer Mania nationwide.
What's your decision? Where will you be playing your college football?
Hold it.
I got it.
After my 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I will be continuing my athletic and academic career at Brigham Young University.
All right, BYU.
Huge commitment for the BYU football program Saturday at the All-American Bowl right here on KSL and NBC. 4-star athlete McKay Madsen from Clovis North High School in California has committed to BYU, choosing the Cougars over Big Ten powers, UCLA, and Oregon. It's been 2 weeks since Utah defensive tackle Keanu Tanuvasa announced he was leaving the Utes to become a Cougar. BYU's thrilled to welcome him to a defense where defensive tackle is a big need heading into 2025. Now, it caused some outrage on the Utah side of things, especially among fans on social media. Mitch Harper of KSLSports.com spoke with Keanu, giving him a chance to explain his tough decision.
How tough was that to leave that family at Utah? And I know it's a tight brotherhood up there. Up on the hill. How difficult was that, and what kind of were maybe the factors that went into that decision to enter the portal?
That was, I tell my fiance all the time that this has been the hardest thing I've done in my entire life up to this point. When I served a mission, it was that. When I was dealing with things during COVID, it was that. There's just been so many things, but up to this point, that was just. Leaving such an amazing connection was heart-wrenching. And I spent countless hours really on my knees trying to figure out what was best. What kind of factored into that was just the understanding of wanting to be the best version of myself. And I felt like I'd done that there at Utah, and I was that, but I wanted to kind of see and test myself and put myself through new challenges. I wanted to see how else I could bless my future outside of the football world with the connections and the family and really where I could push my mental and those types of things.
I'm curious, when you officially entered the portal, who was the first BYU coach to reach out to you?
Coach Boha was first. He recruited me out of high school right before I went on my mission. He was up at the U. We had developed a relationship in the time that he was recruiting me, and I knew him, his family, and so he was on it first.
How important were those relationships with Coach Bua, maybe Kalani Sitake as well, when you were a high school recruit, and saying, I'm going to give BYU a look at here as I navigate the portal?
Those relationships are critical because, when you enter the portal and I'm blessed to have the status that I have, there was an insurmountable number of people that were throwing money, that were throwing what their program was, that were throwing who they were, and it was difficult to decipher between who someone really was, just because there was so much going on. And so the difficulty of understanding a coach who's behind the phone wasn't something that I had in certain places. I still knew coaches at Arizona, coaches at USC, UCLA, different places, different organizations. But I had a deep connection to definitely Coach Boha and Coach Sitake. Knowing both of those men for a long period of time, that started in my recruiting, but has continued, through my college career. It's just that was something that was very necessary for me.
Interesting stuff. We have to take another quick break. More on the development of Utah Jazz rookies this week.
Plus the latest on the Utah Hockey Club. The club's leading goal scorer out indefinitely with an injury, and the return of goalie Connor Ingram to the ice. That and more wild endings in Utah Jazz history are on the way. DeMar DeRozan returns to Chicago, but this time as a loose ball hits the corner three at the buzzer. Kings lead by 2 heading into the fourth. Tight game when Bulls' Zach LaVine pulls up, hits the deep three. They now have a 2-point lead, but DeRozan works his way to the paint, gets the bucket to drop. Kings win their 7th straight, 124-119.
The number 1 team in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers, facing the Indiana Pacers, who were suddenly hot. Cavs have closed the second on an 11-0 run, thanks to a lob from Darius Garland to Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell caps it off with a 3. For that one, the windmill. Sweet. And Andrew Nembhard's going to make the step-back jumper. Pacers give the Cavs just their 5th loss of the season.
Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon back after missing 9 games, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Second quarter here, Aaron Gordon spins into the lane, throws that down. A massive slam. The Nuggets were trailing, though, and Dallas would stay hot, going on a 15-0 run, capped off by a 3 from Klay Thompson. The Nuggets did rally. Nikola Jokic bowls his way into the jump hook. They go on a 12-0 run, and then before you know it, they are back in it. Jokic to Russell Westbrook for the layup. Denver comes from behind to win it, 112-101.
All right, we had some more wild endings we wanted to revisit for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, if you're a Cavs fan, you might want to look away from some of these because multiple times in the past, the Jazz have had some wild wins against Cleveland.
Here we go. In 1995, the Jazz were on the road in Cleveland. A wild final minute led to Dan Marley hitting a 3 with 3 seconds left. Enter the legend, John Stockton.
Stockton drives right side, 3-pointer. He got it. He got it. The Jazz win the game.
And the Jazz were just getting started against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, remember 2007? LeBron and the Cavs were in town. LeBron would tie the game with 6 seconds left with a 3, but no need for a Jazz timeout.
James ties it. Now plenty of time here. Now you got to get back. Darren Williams drives and lays it up and in.
Yeah, Darren showing us early on how special he was.
5.6 seconds left. Miles to inbound. Korver, catch. Gives it off to Price. He's dribbling. He's out of control. Gives to Gaines at the horn. He got it. He got it for 3. Sundiata Gaines. Welcome to the NBA.
Who doesn't love this story? Back in 2009, 2010, the Jazz signed Sundiata Gaines from the D-League. He made his NBA debut against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. He capped off a dramatic Jazz rally with that shot that fans will never forget. The Jazz won, and Gaines won over the hearts of Jazz fans forever.
One of the greatest finishes in Utah Jazz history was what the Jazz did against the Bulls in November 1989. Michael Jordan scored 40 points, 22 of those in the fourth. He had the Bulls up 7 with 40 seconds to go, but that was enough time for John Stockton and the Utah Jazz to win it at the horn.
Break off of here and go down the side. They do. Stock's got it. He's got running room. Stockton, grab, hang it up. It's good. It's good. The Jazz win it. The Jazz win it. I can't believe it. The Jazz win it.
I still remember watching that one in my living room. That's about as wild as it gets.
Bukestad with a bomb. Save made. Rebound comes into the corner. Barrett Hayton there to gather it. He throws it in. They score! Barrett Hayton with 1:32 left to go in the third gives Utah a 2-1 lead.
Boy, do they need that. Barrett Hayton gave Utah their only win of the week against the San Jose Sharks. They lost to the defending champs on Wednesday and Saturday night against the Islanders. Another heartbreaker in the third period. Utah gave up 2 goals and lost to the Islanders 2-1. But the good news is Connor Ingram is back. He missed time since the end of November to grieve after the death of his mother. His return was impressive. He made several great saves in the first period against the Islanders. He ended up with 30 saves in his return.
It was a couple of months off there, so it felt good to be back out there. And lucky for me, I got a chance in Tucson during the week, so got a little bit of a game shape, but not focused. It's been good, yeah. I mean, I can't ask for anything else. Guys have been great. Team's been great. Management's been great, and I got no complaints.
Well, today in the NHL, the Minnesota Wild were visiting the Las Vegas Golden Knights. In the first period, Wild's Ryan Hartman steals the puck along the wall, dashes away for the goal. It's 1-0. Knights look to match. Pavel Dorofeyev comes from behind the defense to tie the game at 1. Third period, Knights' Keegan Colasar gets an easy goal. The Knights would score again. Dorofeyev ices the game with his second goal. The Knights get the win 4-1.
An important moment for the Carolina Hurricanes franchise, retiring the number 12 worn by Eric Stahl. The Canes were determined not to let the Ducks spoil the party. They scored 2 goals in the third period to tie the game and force overtime, but in OT, the visitors from Anaheim would steal 2 points on the road. Ugh. Cutter Gauthier wins it. Ducks just 2 points behind Utah in the standings.
All right, the Lightning and the Penguins. Lightning up 2-1 early in the third period when Penguins' Kevin Hayes scores on the power play to equalize, but from there, the Lightning would take the lead and never look back. Nikita Kucherov gets the takeaway and scores. Then Anthony Cirelli, an empty netter. The Lightning scored 3 unanswered. They get the win 5-2. Earlier this week, the Utah Hockey Club was dealt an unlucky blow. Leading scorer Dylan Guenther collided with the Panthers player Dmitry Kulikov in the first period of the game. He would continue playing, but it was announced by the team that he would be out indefinitely with a lower body injury. Now, the silver lining to that, Coach Bear did say that they do expect Guenther back before season's end, so it's not a season-ending injury. Guenther, a huge piece of the puzzle that is the future of this Utah Hockey Club, signed an 8-year contract extension just before the season that will keep him in Utah through the 2032-33 season. We got to know Dylan a little bit better this week thanks to his exclusive conversation with KSL Sports hockey insider Cole Bagley.
You've been in Utah for a little while now. How are you enjoying, this relocation, this new city, this new town, new fan base?
Good. It's a lot of fun. I think it brings a lot of kind of spark to us and a lot of jump. I mean, we're excited to play in front of the fans every game, and it's not really something that I guess I was used to playing in Arizona, just having the building all behind you and having it that loud. So I think it's still a little bit of an adjustment, but it's a good one for sure.
You scored the first goal in Utah Hockey Club history.
Solring carries it across, drops one, shot, score! Dylan Guenther lights the lamp!
You've now had some time to reflect on that. What did that mean to be such a critical part of history?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess you don't really think anything of it until after, but I'll never forget kind of just how loud that game was. I mean, coming onto the ice, the first goal, the celebration after the win, the introductions, I think everything was just super wholesome, and we're really excited that we get to bring hockey here.
Do you have a specific go-to celly after you score a goal? I mean, you are leading the team in goals so far, so.
Yeah, I mean, I try to hit a decent celly every time, but I like to go down on like one knee and give it a little pump.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So being here at the center, there's a lot of number 11s out there in the crowd. Is it weird to see people wearing your name and number on their back? How does that kind of make you feel?
I mean, pretty cool. I mean, I had a lot of jerseys growing up and wore a lot of guys, and to kind of be that to somebody else is it's pretty special and something that I don't really take for granted. So I'm super grateful for that, and just try to be the best role model I could be.
Last one for you. Do you have any sort of, message to the fans, how much you've appreciated, what they've done, or, how do you guys anticipate finishing out? There's still a lot of hockey to be played, but you're nearing that midway point.
Yeah, I think just super grateful for the support and the positivity. I mean, I think everybody is really positive, and they're all super excited to have us. And even like the odd time when we go out and maybe people know who you are, it's always super positive, and they're super excited to get to know you. So I'm just super grateful for how passionate they are, and we hope to bring them some more wins.
Sony Open in Honolulu, Hawaii. Nick Taylor, 2 strokes behind the lead, chipping from just off the green. Finds the bottom of the jar for eagle. That puts him at a tie for the lead and forces a playoff. It's him and Nico Echevarria, and they both birdie playoff hole 1, but then on the second hole, Taylor's going to come up with the brilliant chip shot to leave himself a short birdie attempt. He taps it in to win the Sony Open.
Hey, gymnastics season is
finished 4th, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can improve throughout the year and compete with the bigger teams in the country. So good way to see where they sit, where their bar is.
All right.
That was a pun, by the way.
Hey, we'll be back again next weekend with a lot more NFL playoff action.
Sure about that?
Yeah, it's going to be.
Are you sure about that?
So don't go anywhere. In the meantime, stay with us on the KSL Sports app and at KSLSports.com, and listen to JJ and Alex every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6.
Unless I don't show up.